Okay, so I know this seems really random, but hear me out on this one. I just figured that given the current situation of most of us self isolating or quarantining, it's probably pretty likely that most of us have some sort of instant ramen or instant noodle packet on hand, or honestly, any other kind of instant food packet. And since the goal of these videos is to find inspiration from common household things, it seems like a good jumping off point that a lot of people could relate to. In this video, I want to break down my thought process behind using instant ramen as an idea for a character that I designed. So if you're interested in seeing how I took this beef top ramen and turned it into this, just keep watching. Alright, so I'm going to start by breaking down all of the elements on this item, and the reason I want to do this is so you can see that there are a lot of opportunities for various different ideas here. You might even end up seeing something that I don't even think of. Looking really closely and breaking down an object is a great first step in getting a new idea started. And I also wanted to explain my own thought process because I get asked all the time where I get my ideas for drawings, and this is honestly something that I do on a regular basis. I got this idea just by looking through my pantry while I was trying to think of random and common things I could use for this video, and a few elements on it just ended up sparking the entire thing. Looking at this closely, you can see there are actually a lot of things to work with. The first thing I noticed was the shape of the noodles and then the bright colors and the more subtle wave pattern in the background. There are also a couple toppings here and then some text elements. Now at this point, you can start associating those images with potential ideas. When I saw the noodles, the first thing I thought of was long, wavy hair, kind of like mermaid hair, and then I instantly decided I wanted to do a mermaid character, and that ended up being the core of my idea. I then started thinking about details and colors. Even though red isn't a typical ocean color, it could still potentially be incorporated for other colors of sea creatures like fish or lobsters or starfish, or there's also the option of not using red at all and instead using something like the white and the blue from the No MSG added label. Next, you can start thinking of details. How can I incorporate ramen elements into my mermaid design to make her unique and interesting? This is where you can start to jump off to other ideas that aren't necessarily on the package itself. This is instant ramen, but what ingredients would be added to more traditional ramen? Maybe some vegetables, hard-boiled eggs, onions. Could those things be incorporated as well? Start thinking about things like that. And if coming up with these ideas still isn't coming naturally to you, it can help to write things down. Just make a really long list of different words as you think of them and start to associate them with other things. They don't all have to go together, and you don't even have to use all of them in a single drawing. This is just a way to give yourself lots of ideas to work with, and then you can pick and choose which ones you want to focus on. Alright, so now that I have a more solid idea of my mermaid, I'm going to start sketching and developing her design a little bit, so just keep watching if you want to see what I ended up coming up with. In my designing phase, I knew the mermaid's hair was really going to be her most defining feature, so I took my time with drawing it so it really looked like ramen noodles, but was still reminiscent of hair. I wanted it to flow naturally and have a lot of movement, but still look like noodles. I also started adding ramen ingredients into her hair. This is actually a detail I add to a lot of my mermaid designs, because it seems pretty likely that someone swimming underwater with a lot of hair would end up getting things caught in it. But in this case, instead of drawing fish or seashells, I included mushrooms, bamboo shoots, and onions. Originally, she was going to be leaning on a rock, but I thought it would be cuter to have her leaning on a cup of instant noodles instead. This style of instant ramen is different than the one that I started with, but it was an easy association to make and then add into the drawing. For colors, I ended up making the mermaid's tail the same red as the packaging because I really liked how vibrant it was and how it looked next to her hair, but this color could change based on preference and also if you end up using different types of ramen or even different types of food packaging as your inspiration. Alright, and that's it. I really hope you enjoyed watching me design this Ramen Mermaid. She was super fun and super cute to draw, and I can imagine all kinds of mermaids or even other mythical creatures based off different flavors of ramen or other kinds of instant food altogether. And like I said in my last video, if you start to really go out of your way to see the small things around you, you'll find that there's inspiration everywhere that you look. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, go ahead and subscribe down below. That would be awesome. I hope you're all doing well and staying safe. And until my next video, I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.